We're going to take a look at Word Chapter 3, creating research papers, newsletters, and merged mailing labels. And we're going to start with activity 3.01. And we need to open the document W03A green business. So locate that. It should be on your flash drive. It's on my SkyDrive. And it is chapter 3 of Word, and we want green business, and open that file up. And a couple of things: if you don't have show hide turned on, turn that on the home tab. And down here you probably want print layout view, so make sure you've got both of those. Then what we're going to do is we're going to save this using the usual naming convention. Do a save as on your file tab. And we're going to put last name, first name, 3A underscore green business, and just save it right here. That'll preserve the original if we need to go back and take a look at the original sometime. And we want to select the entire document with a Control A. Go to the Home tab. We're going to change the line spacing to double spacing. That's in the paragraph group here. This is our line spacing. And here's the double spacing command. That's also a Control 2 if you want the keyboard shortcut. Then go to the Page Layout tab. And in the paragraph group, that's this, change the spacing after to 0 points. Right now we've got 10 points in there, which is about 1/7 of an inch extra in addition to the double spacing. We want this to be 0, so we have the same amount of space between paragraphs as we do between other lines. Now press Control Home to go to the top of the document. Press Enter once to get a blank line, and then we're going to put a name up at the top. And we're going to put in a little more text. I'm just going to pause here and type all of that in, and you can do the same. Okay, we've got everything typed in now. And these first 4 lines are supposed to remain left aligned, but this is the title of our document, and this is supposed to be centered. And we can go to the Home tab and the paragraph group and click on the center button. But you notice Control E is also the keyboard shortcut for that, so either way will work to get it centered. Now we're on number 5. At the top of page 1, point anywhere in the top white margin area and right click and choose Edit Header. You can also double click up there and it'll do the same thing. And in the header we're supposed to type Freeman, press the space bar, and we're going to put page numbers in. So when we're in the header and footer, we get this header and footer tools tab up here with a design tab underneath it. And what we want to do is we want to insert page numbers here. And we want it at the current position where the cursor is right now, and we're just going to do a plain number, and that'll automatically number our pages for us. Go back to the Home tab, and we want to align that right so it's over there on the right side. And then we can either click on the red and white X, or we can just go down here and double click in our document to get back into the body of the document. We want to locate the paragraph that begins "There is a growing," which is the very first actual paragraph of the document here. And we want to be at the beginning of the paragraph, and we want to scroll to the end of the document. And we want to select everything. So do a shift click down here. And shift click, if you hold shift down while you click, it'll select everything between the current position and where you click. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to do the first line indent for all of this. We don't want to include that on this stuff up here. So drag our first line indent marker over 1/2 inch. It says click anywhere to deselect the text. Scroll to view the bottom of page 1. I'm going to edit the footer, and I'm just going to double click this time. And we're always going to put the same thing in here under the header and footer tools on the Design tab, we're always going to do Quick Parts, and we're going to go to Field. And the field we're always putting in down there is the file name, and click on OK. And that way we'll always be able to identify our document if we print it out. Objective number 2 is insert footnotes in a research paper. And we're supposed to scroll to the top of page 2. This is page 2. And I'm going to double click now to get out of the header. And in the 7th line of text, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, towards the end of the line, we want to be right after the word followed. Okay, 7th line of the paragraph. And to the right of the period, so I need to be over one more character. And go to our References tab. We're going to put in a footnote here. And in the Footnotes group, we want to click Insert. Here's the Footnotes group. We want to click Insert Footnote. You could also do an end note here, which I think is something that you're more likely to have to do when you write a paper, but we'll do it the same way they're doing it in the book here, and click on Insert Footnote. And then we're going to type in the body of the footnote, and I'll pause for that. Okay, now we're going to go to the Home tab, and we're going to go to the Font group. And the font size of the footer, we're supposed to see is 10 points. And all he's asking us to do here is just to note that this is not the same formatting as the body of the document. The body of the document is Calibri 11, and it's double spaced. Down here it's Calibri 10, and it's single spaced. Okay, now we're going to go back to page 1. And we want to be at the bottom of page 1. And we want to find the paragraph that begins, "There are many common," which is right here. And at the end of the 2nd line of text, we want to click to the right of the period following environment, which would be right here. Right of the period. There we go. On the References tab in the footnote, we're going to put another footnote in here. On the References tab in the Footnotes group, click Insert Footnote, and we're going to type in the body of another footnote again. And now we can save the document. And now we're on activity 3.03, modifying a footnote style. I want to go to the bottom of page 2. And notice that it renumbered our footnotes for us. This is now footnote number 2, not number 1. And point anywhere in there and right click and choose Style. And what we want to do is we want to modify the style. This is the style for footnotes, so it controls the way all footnotes are going to look. And we want to modify this, and the change we're going to make is we're going to change the font size to 11. And then we're also going to go to the Format button down here, and we're going to click on the paragraph, and under indentation, click the special arrow here, and we want the first line to be 0.5, which is the default. And then under spacing down here, we're going to go to double spacing for our footnote, so it's like the rest of the text is. Then we're going to click on OK, and click on OK, click Apply, and now our document should look like figure 3.10. And we're going to stop there, and we'll continue with objective 3 in the next video.